And welcome to the Notre Dame studio. Professor Justin Crepp from the College of Science joins us now. And tell us about your latest discovery, NASA's Kepler-1. This is actually a planet.
That's right, yeah. It's Kepler 186F, which means it's the 186th discovery of Kepler, and F means it's the 5th planet in this system. So there are actually 5 planets. They're in a very kind of compact orbital configuration, and the F planet, the outermost planet, the 5th planet, is squarely in the habitable zone, which means that it could have just the right temperature to have liquid water, or water in a liquid phase. It's not too hot, it's not too cold. We call that the habitable zone. And these planets were discovered by looking at the brightness of the star. So Kepler is staring kind of with an unblinking eye at 150,000 stars at the same time. And Kepler 186F orbits every 100 days or so. And we can tell this by the brightness of the star decreasing in time. And this event happens over and over again. We call that a transit. And so this is an important discovery because that planet is not only it's in the habitable zone, but it's the same size as the Earth, 1.1 Earth radii, okay? And it orbits a star that's a little bit lower mass than the sun. And so this star burns its hydrogen very conservatively, very slowly over time. And so that means if you put a planet in the habitable zone around this kind of star, it will essentially stay there forever. The star will burn hydrogen forever, and it will be a very stable habitable zone. So that gives you a lot of opportunity to develop life. We think it took 1 to 2 billion years or so to develop life on the Earth. And this planetary system is already older than our sun, and in fact, it will remain stable for many tens of billions of years, essentially the age of the universe.
You know, we always hear about certain things being discovered on Mars that suggest it could support life. Is this more so? Is this like Mars on steroids, so to speak?
This is another way to try to address that question. Is there life elsewhere? We only have one data point, which is the Earth. And we're searching within the solar system for conditions that might be ripe for the development of life, either now or past evidence. But we're taking a parallel path to attack that question, which is to find other planets around other stars that could have life. So we know the radius of this planet, but we don't know what its atmosphere is made out of because it's a bit too far away. It's about 500 light years away. And so what we're trying to do is kind of stand on the shoulders of Kepler's discoveries and find planets now that are much closer to the sun, closer to the Earth. We know that basically the solar neighborhood is teeming with these extrasolar planets. It's a matter of discovering them. And so at Notre Dame, we're building a new instrument named iLocator to identify these planets. And not only will we be able to get their radius from another NASA space mission, which is scheduled for launch in 2017, 2018, it's called TESS. But iLocator will work in concert with that mission to tell us the mass of the planet, the orbit of the planet, and also we will be able to probe the atmosphere for the first time of these small terrestrial planets to figure out what they're made out of. What is their chemical composition? Do they resemble the Earth? Do they have methane, ozone, the things that we might see as familiar, possibly indicating the presence of life? And so that's kind of where we're going with these studies involving Kepler and then also at Notre Dame. And so this instrument will be built for the Large Binocular Telescope in Arizona, which Notre Dame has access to. It's the largest and most complex optical telescope in the world. And we plan to build the instrument and install it at the Large Binocular Telescope about 2 or 3 years from now. And so we're very excited about that development, those efforts that are going on in the lab in the physics department here at Notre Dame.
500 light years away. Obviously, it's going to be a challenge for you to get there, but do you see this as your life's work now, this Kepler?
I think this is the most important discovery of Kepler to date, but it's only the tip of the iceberg. This is just the beginning. This is tremendously exciting, but there are monumental discoveries that basically await new technologies, and I'm anxious to develop those.
This is very exciting stuff, but I have to get something on record here. He got his doctorate from the University of Florida. Notre Dame plays Florida. Who you pulling for in football?
I've got Notre Dame. I'm buying my season tickets in about an hour.
Probably the next most exciting thing in his life, next to the discovery of this planet. It's really been a pleasure to have you here, and continued success with this. This is really exciting. Somebody from Notre Dame discovering a planet. It's not exactly plutonium, but it's right up there, correct?
Yes.
All right, Justin, thank you very much.
Thank you.